Good morning to you guys. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning to you. Thank you very much for um, coming on board this morning. Thank you so much. Let's allow people to join in quickly before I commence. Morning to you. Morning to you. Morning to you guys. Morning to you. Great honor and privilege, to be back on the platform live chat to show and to talk again. I feel so much happy when I come online. I see all the love accolade. I see names coming up. I see the whole top fans. I see the new top fans coming on. I feel good, man. I feel good. So I am happy this morning to bring before you statements of changes. Statements of changes under the immigration rules. Statements of changes. Only few can read in between the lines in practice. There are so many draconian laws, being passed when it comes to immigration rules, and they are very, very stiffing, very hard, whooping on immigrants, majorly whooping on immigrants in the United Kingdom. So, as such, my job as a legal practitioner with a good standing in the diaspora, in the community, in the United Kingdom above all, is to ensure that the word law is interpreted, to your understanding. My job is to ensure that it is properly interpreted to your understanding so that there will be no problem. You understand? There will be no problem in pieces the law. A lot of people do not understand how the law is done. The law is done in a way to ensure, that you guys understand it very well. Thank you for having me on. Pleasure. Thank you. It's a very hard law, and a lot of people don't understand how hard it is. But trust me, immigration law is not a day job, and it's not a baby's work. It takes a God to sit down, to research, to understand the changes in the law. And you will understand and agree with me. It is not just one topic that comes on all the time. This is as at 31st. In fact, as at 1st and 2nd. Second was on a Saturday. As at 1st of November, it's there, but it's not really important because it's about Halloween law for the 1st of November. But trust me, as at 31st of October, importantly, you will note that it's very important for all of you that are still renewing your status in the UK as an EU national, as a tier 1, tier 2, tier 5, tier whatever. And as somebody who is under parent or partner route, it is very important that you pay a good deal of attention to this topic this morning, because statements of changes, statements of changes affect you one way or another. A lot of people have not seen that in the past. They think they are clever. You might be clever, but let me tell you one thing. You cannot be clever and be clever enough to beat me in immigration law. There is no way you can be clever and be intelligent and beat me in immigration law. No way. I eat law, I drink law, and I wine and dine with people that are in charge. So it is there clearly for me to understand. Don't forget, I went to law school in the United Kingdom, not in Nigeria. So I understand all the hard laws, all the hard language, all the difficult ones used. I understand it. Interpretation of it is not a problem. It is easy for me to understand the rules, because I am inside the system. And don't forget, no matter how you are thinking, I have been inside the system for a very long time. So it's clear. The system is very clear to me. So I know exactly how it works. Let me start on you overstayers. Overstayers. Let me start Let me start on you overstayers. There are things that you need to understand. A lot of people do not understand the critical point of deadline. A lot of people overlook the critical point, or when it comes to meeting the deadline, a hard stop, deadline. If you fail to meet the deadline, you will be hit with a hard stop. And that is what is part of the system, what is part of the statement of changes. If you failed to meet your deadline, you will be hit. If you know the sounds of a vehicle, when you are hit or two cars bumper to bumper hit each other, the effect of it is really hard on the person who wasn't expecting it to happen. Mostly people that are affected are the one in the front. The one at the back knew it's going to happen. There is possibility that it's going to happen. And that's why they are punished for hitting a car in front, because it comes as hit at the back. Typical example. Let me take you into the scenario, because it's an analysis of law for you to be able to understand what the law says in terms of you being in the UK and coming to renew your status all the time. Now, when I said to you that there is no way you can beat me when it comes to immigration and nationality law, believe me, there isn't any way for it. There isn't any way. A lot of people think that because they are on tier 2, tier 4, tier whatever, they have the autonomy, they have the audacity to renew the application consistently, continuously by themselves. Now, that isn't a problem. That isn't a problem. You can easily do that. But what you will need to understand is the difficult English used on the application forms that can get you stuck at any time. And the practice means perfect. In a nutshell, practice means perfect. If you don't practice it all the time, there is no way you can be equipped inside it. So I was wondering why a lot of people will be thinking that, oh, I can do it easily. Now, statement of changes as at 24th of October, taking it to the 31st of October 2019, which still remain intact, will affect you one way or another once you fail to meet your deadline 14 days. A late application made within 14 days, you can still get away with it, And if you have a very good reason, the reason why you cannot put in the application on time, you might scale through. For example, in the past successfully, I have renewed for guys that their wife put their partners, hit their biometric card out of jealousy. You understand? I have successfully renewed for them after 3 months expire, after 4 more. But the problem is that they will have to start all over again. That is the problem. They will have to start all over. They will have to start all over again. It isn't that pleasant anymore. Now, leave that aside. The government is now saying that a migrant cannot make a valid application for leave after 14 days. Whatever the reason, no matter how compelling or indeed how mundane, but human. Say for a further situation whereby there is a problem on human rights grounds, then you should be able to get it done. But then, if there is nothing of sort, you have to leave United Kingdom in this way. Missing a deadline can really mean the end of your life here in the UK. Missing a deadline can really mean the end of your life in the UK. You understand? It can really mean the end of your life in the United Kingdom. So let's look at the things the government is trying to put across to us. There are sort of reasons why some might not apply in time. They might simply forget. Who among us hasn't forgotten something important at one time? Everybody forgets things. There's no one of us that has not forget things at a certain point in your lifetime. You understand? There is no way you cannot forget things. But let me warn you, the terminology used, the banga language we use in law, it is only us that will understand the draconia. It is only us we know how to pieces it. Believe me or not, when it comes to uses of jargons English in law, I am very equipped to understand the jargon legal language. If you are not a lawyer, there is no way you can understand the jargon used in law. Trust me, the readings are quite tedious and they are not that very straightforward. Only in few, save in few cases that you will discover that English are processed to a layman's understanding. But it's not really necessary for the English to be processed until you see your lawyer, and your lawyer will now process it for you to suit your need. But before that time, there is no need for any writer to process it for you, because it's not putting the document for you. The document is being put together for a professional person, for a lawyer to read, for a lawyer to understand and to disseminate it to the public. Who are the public? The public is my clients who want to understand what the law means, who want to understand what the law says. So therefore, there is no way you can bring 1 and 3 together and make it 2. They're not the same. I am not a medical doctor. I will not put my eyes or nose into their situation, so I will not get caught by any medical situation that I may have. So get the advice, get the consultation, and do it on time. Now, to those of you, Mr. Know-it-all and Mrs. Know-it-all, this is where you get yourself whacked. And believe me, I have come across a lot of people in this career that are renewing their status and mess it up in between. I don't know what they have done to each other, both themselves and their legal representative, and they messed up the journey. Or possibly they are doing it themselves because they did not go to someone who basically understand the nature of the law in that particular realm. They didn't even attempt to ask questions. So what happened in the end is that they get stuck. They get stuck. So the government is saying that once you are stuck, you are stuck. Let me read it to you very well, because I did a lot of research for you yesterday, and that's why I have the audacity to say meet me today, this morning, because there is no way I can have this information and sleep overnight and not giving it to the public to have it as part of what you need to show that you gain from my platform, you know. You know, when it comes to doing it yourself, don't forget technical issues. They will also arise. Most applications now that are lodged in, they are done over the line. They are done online. And the submission of the form completes the application. But believe me or not, if you say because your application is, your visa will expire 3 or 4 days time, so you still have the leeway to fill in the application. Of course, you have time to fill in the application. You have all the whole world with you. But believe me or not, if one thing gets messed up in it, the whole of your career in the UK is gone in the drain. That is what the law is saying now. Now, feeling sorry for those who are doing the renewal, most particularly those who are on renewal. The government is saying that you have to go back. Once you lost it, you have to go back. You know, after 14 days, you will have to go back. And if government is going to renew for you, you will have to show human rights argument. You have to show exceptional circumstances. And that means that they are going to bring you under 10 years. So instead of you going through the 5 years, say for example, the typical one that we usually have, the typical one that we usually have, let me tell you the one that we usually have, is the one that's doing the tier 2 and renewing all the time. Because they are too know, they think because they are on a work visa, they think they know it all. So they renew it by themselves all the time. And guess what? They will tell you that, oh, I have been renewing my visa myself. I don't have any problem. That's fine by us. That's fine by us. A lot of them having delay now inside. That is not even a problem. Your delay is very dangerous. If you have been renewed by yourself and you have a delay and something happened and the Home Office return your application after a year and a half, you are dead. Because application in the first instance that has been renewed continuously without any problem shouldn't have problem for 1.5 years in the Home Office. It shouldn't have any problem in the Home Office. So the application should have been back within 6 months. Save in any circumstances, 6 months mostly. You know, anything outside that, you are dead if they return the application as invalid after a year and a half. It means you will have to leave the country, because by the time you are going to be arguing your case out in court, the Home Office will be telling you that it was an invalid application and they have delay in this inside. And the consequence of it, when they were looking at the documentation, is that they were not properly filled out, or the questions were answered incorrectly. When questions are answered incorrectly, you'll be out of gap. you'll be out completely. Yes, you will be out of application. So you will not be able to rely on your status. And what he's saying is that the clock is ticking. After 14 days or one gap, we messed up the whole thing. In the past again, I have come across the tier 2 that have this situation on their finance, income. And then when it comes to calculation, they're not smart enough. When it comes to calculation, they are going to be claiming self-employed. How dubious are you? How dubious are you? If you're going to be self-employed, you should have a qualified chartered accountant that can calculate your income perfectly. It is not a situation whereby you can be calculating it yourself. So if you don't have a dubious mind to cheat the government, to take the money from the treasury, to cheat the treasury, one thing you should be doing is to get a qualified, certified chartered accountant on your belt to assist you satisfy your income. In other words, in most cases, I would not advise you to be doing self-employed when it comes to income in the UK when you are going for your visa, leave to remain, because most cases it becomes a problem. Most cases it becomes a problem and it will ruin your life. It will definitely, in no doubt in my mind, ruin your life. You know, let me tell you, let us look at a typical example. Now, there is a certain person who is a high-flying publishing executive, you know, publishing person, a high-flying career person, you know. He was sponsored as an employee on a tier 2 work visa, and he has lived in the UK continuously for 5 years. Now, he's entitled to make his eligible indefinite leave to remain in the UK. So, he has passed his life in the UK test and also passed the English test. So everything looks so geared up for him, you know, and it's ready, application is ready to go. No problem to make the application for indefinite leave to remain. So as he was completing the form and imputing the biometric card details, he was noticed with some errors, imputing his biometric card details, you know. He had some errors, but he did not notice those errors, you know, that his visa, the error is that when he was entering it here, his visa had expired. His visa had expired 30 days ago. Did you see what I'm saying? His visa had already expired 30 days ago. He thought it was due to be expired imminently, but it turned out he got the month wrong. The visa had expired 30 days ago, but he thought the visa is due to be expired immediately. So let's see. So on putting in the application, the Home Office does not issue anybody reminders. It is not Home Office obligation to clean your dirty linen, to take care of that side for you. You need to know when your visa is going to expire, when your leave will expire. This particular scenario is an high-flying career tier 2 person. Guess what happened to him? He becomes an overstayer because he has already been an overstayer over a month ago. On discovering of this part, he became a knowing overstayer, which means that he was committing an ongoing criminal offense. He was unable to make a valid application for a tier 2 indefinite leave to remain because of paragraph 245H of the immigration rule, which basically says that applicants must not be in the UK in breach of immigration laws, except that where paragraph 39E of these rules applies, any current period of overstaying will be disregarded. What happened to this particular friend of ours on this tier 2 scenario is that he is now in breach of the immigration laws and more than 14 days past the expiry of his biometric card. So nothing under these paragraphs that can even afford him an extension to have indefinite leave to remain. Nothing on 245, nothing on 39E. So basically, he's stuck. And like so many other people that are in that situation as well, he is not the only one. There are many of them that are in that situation. Now, he made an honest mistake. It was an honest mistake because he thought it was going to expire. That's why he's putting in the application unknowingly that it has already expired. He thought it was going to expire just shortly, by about a day or 2 days more. So that is the difficulties of leaving it behind or doing it yourself or not taking advice at least 2-3 months before the running time. It has happened to a client of mine previously that went to Nigeria and miscalculated the card, not knowing that the card had expired as well. So it's a real scenario. She didn't know the card has expired. She got to the airport, Muritala, Lagos, and she wanted to board out. So they look at the card and told her that, I'm sorry, madam, you cannot fly out of the Federal Republic of Nigeria because you do not have rights to go back into United Kingdom. She was shocked, bemused, flabbergasted. So what happened is that they have to contact me immediately in the United Kingdom. Ìyá aláàánú. So what I did was that I asked them to send me the file scenario. So they sent me the file scenario immediately. Then we have to input a new application with immediate effect. Pay all the money, get contact with the partner here, and do all the necessary things, and send the signal back to entry clearance in Lagos for us. Honest mistake, we are calling it. We call it honest mistake. But had she not have a lawyer that is on hands-on, that can handle things quickly, she would have messed up her coming back to the United Kingdom. But fortunately for her, I was in the country, I was in a situation, I was in an environment, in a serena where she can easily get through to me. So she was able to get through to me, and we have to get the signal back to entry clearance in Lagos State with the application, uploading it, and do every necessary thing with immediate effect. And fortunately for us, within 14 days, she was granted a partner route to enter into United Kingdom peacefully, as if there were no problem. But there was problem. It was headache. Believe me, it was headache. Now, this my beautiful friend that we are using in scenario here, it was an honest mistake. Don't let us forget. He was previously possibly working too hard. Workaholic, working too hard, flamboyantly, chasing indefinite leave to remain, and going to work because he has not seen money before. So the way he sees pound sterling got into his head. So he's working more than hours and doing extra hours. And I always tell people, you will have appointments with lawyer in your immigration matter. You will cancel it and say, oh, it is work. Let me tell you, when there is no visa anymore, that work will leave you because they will send you out of place. So you need to take a break. Take a day off. Tell your employer, I have an appointment X where it is urgent. Go and see your lawyer. Go and take advice before you start putting your hand into it. Because possibly this person was working too hard. But so be it. So due to one silly forgetful moment, the last 5 years of his life building up to his indefinite leave to remain application, as well as count for nothing, he comes to nothing at the end of the day. He has no choice but to leave, as he was unable to apply for any visa. At the end of the day, this particular person left United Kingdom because there was no basis of applying for extension outside the rules. There was nothing he could do. The 30 days has gone. He went to court. Lawyer chop his money. They waste all every effort. Everything just went into the drain, and he lost everything. And then all the 5 years he has been building, working hard, working late, extra money, extra that, he ended up back to Nigeria. He ended up back to his country of origin in a proper, return back with nothing. And I know that you don't want your scenario to be like that. And that's the reason why you have me on this platform. That's the reason what I am doing now. I'm not just making noise. I have loads of work to do, believe me, because I have not been around for the past few days. So believe me, I wasn't at work. Now I've just come back to work and I've got a lot to do. But if you think I don't have work to do, you must be joking. You must be joking. I've got a lot of things to do. I'm only helping you guys. So don't think that lawyer doesn't have work to do or she's less busy. I am not less busy at all. I am not a less busy lawyer. So at the end of the day, this particular scenario hasn't got choice but to leave, as he was unable to apply for any visa from within the UK due to his status as an overstayer. So he rushed home to pack his bags and arrange a flight back to his home country, waving goodbye to his indefinite leave to remain at the airport. Even coming back was difficult. He was unable to apply for most type of entry clearance because of having overstayed by more than 30 days. Under the new statement of changes, once you overstay more than 30 days before you get out of the country, you are going to stay outside for 1 year. Under the new law, once you overstay for more than 30 days, you are going to remain outside the country for 1 year. You are going to have that automatic ban for 1 year under your record. So if you have any problem, contact my office. That's what I'm going to give you. He was in a relationship with a British citizen, so they had hopes of getting his ILR then his citizenship within a year. Thankfully, they had cohabited for at least 2 years. So together with his partner, he's able to return to the home country, work remotely during the time, and apply for a priority partner visa. Because he was in a relationship with a British person, he was able to go back, remotely done things perfectly, and apply for priority partner visa. Priority partner visa. Don't forget he has an ongoing job here. So he's now back in the UK with a partner visa, but his clock for indefinite leave to remain has to reset to 0. His clock for indefinite leave to remain has to reset to 0. And so he will not be eligible to apply for indefinite leave to remain until another 5 years again. And citizenship will be 1 year after that 5 years. So all the 5 years he has done, he has lost it. He has to start all over again and wait for 6 years before he can get to that stage again. 5 years to get to the indefinite leave, and after 6 years, and then apply for British citizenship. He is lucky. He's even able to return back. In some scenarios, that's the end of that journey. In some scenarios, it's the end of the journey. They lost the job, they lose everything, and they start running helter and skelter. Government is saying, as at the statement of changes, is not encouraging anyone. So don't forget, this person has to reset, his indefinite leave to remain that he's supposed to apply for has to be reset. He has to reset it to 0. So there was nothing for him anymore. So he has to make application under super priority partner to come to UK. So if you lost in those kind of big jargon legal English that I have used, super priority partner, you can account me for that and see me in the office on a consultation. Then I'll be able to assist you. So the errors will cost him. That error on that application will cost him nothing less than £7,150 in addition to visa application fee, because it's applying for super. So that error will definitely cost him a minimum of about £7,150. Don't ask me how I come to calculation. You have to be in my shoes to understand the system. So I'm afraid that's the situation about that person, about you that have your card in the UK, biometric card, on a partner, on a parent's route, on a tier 1, tier 2 student, everybody. You need to renew within 14 days. If you stay outside 30 days, up to 30 days without renew, you will be automatically banned from coming to UK for 1 year. Don't forget, it's the part of what is inside the statement of changes as at 2019 October. Thank you for that. Now, the next phase of it that I want to look at before I move to my day's work today, I still have a bit of time before I start my work. So I want to quickly give you the opportunity for us to address that scenario. We have looked at the scenario of overstaying, implication of not applying on time. 14 days, you have to apply within 14 days. You have to apply. If you stay longer than 30 days, then you will automatically have 1 year ban of coming to UK. You will not be able to come to UK straight away. You will not be able to come to UK, straight away. So that is the good deeds about that area. You have me on your desk. I'm able to assist you. I'm able to apply for you, and that's the situation there. If you have any problem, I am not a free lawyer, but I control the fee for you. I done it in the way that the fee cannot kill you. You need to get consultation first. In my office, it's only £50 charge for consultation in the office. Get your appointment and take advice. Don't use the rules of 2 no in the head. Use the proper lawyer that will understand what you need. My office number is 0208 309 8808. 0208 309 8808. Super. That is that one. Now the next one that I want to look at, I don't want it to be boring for you. It's an analysis. When you look at the BBC, the way they analyze the president, the way they talk about issues on the radio, on program, is to relax your audience, is to make it more interactive, rather than making it look as if it's a court arena and put people under pressure. You don't have to be under pressure. What needs to get into your brain is the point, each of it that I am saying that relevant to your lifestyle. So, for example, if you are one of those that are renewing your visa, all you need to get into your brain is the deadline. that I've just spoken about. Put it in your head. Another one, get a lawyer on your bed straight away. Get good advice and get everything roller coaster. If you don't do it on time, my dear, you are going to become an overstayer and you have to reset the clock again and start all over. I like to. Somebody is sending me a message. I said I like to about your job. I like to know. What a rude language. What do you want to know about me and my job? Anyway, private. I'm not replying to any private talk. So let's move on to the next one. The next one I want to talk about is the student, beautiful student, tier 4 student in the United Kingdom. Love you more, Karen. Love you more. Thank you for the love button rolling. Beautiful student. Student, what would I say about you? Tier 4 student, most especially in the United Kingdom. Let me tell you, the goody part of you is that when you are in the UK, you have to be with an institution that has a track record. What do we mean by track record? Track record is those who have their sponsorship license on board, who have not been out of control with the Home Office, who have not stepped on the Home Office toes. Because if they have stepped on Home Office toes, it means that you are going to be whacked with them along the line. So you have to be careful. Office is not open until 9:30. Stay tuned. Stay tuned. It's not open until 9:30. Office is not open now. Don't worry. All the phone calls that are wagging on me on my landline, it's it's going through the what is it called at the moment. So it's not going to be open until 9:30 when the staffs are in the office. I have paperwork to do. Thank you, my dear. He said I have been more than generous with the fee. It's the only thing I can do to help the society, to help the community, because it doesn't affect my livelihood, it doesn't affect my style, it doesn't affect anything. Other than that, it makes me happy that I'm helping people. When I help, I am happy, and that's just it. So we're talking about the issue of students, tier 4 students. Oh my God, what do I have for you in belts today? Tier 4 students, if you're coming into United Kingdom, you need to start making your way down now. And if you're making your way down, under our statement of changes, you will have the benefit once you complete your education. If your education has not completed, you will not be able to move into work visa. Now, what the work visa is going to do for you is that what the work visa is going to do for you is that you can work in any environment, in any community, in any department, in any institution when you have your work visa. But you will not be entitled to that work visa. You understand? You will not be entitled to that work visa until you are able to prove that you have completed from a university with a track record. University with a track record, institution with a track record. And you have to be doing master's, first degree or PhD for you to be able to utilize that. If you don't do that, you will not be able to rely on the work visa. Work visa is like a post-study PSW, post-study work visa, which will enable you to work around the clock and as much as you want for 2 years. The bad news incorporating into that visa is that he does not take you to indefinite leave to remain. It's not going to be counted as part of your indefinite leave to remain. So if you take on PSW for 2 years, it enables you to move smoothly into tier 2. You must be able to work and get tier 2 visa. Then it is on your tier 2 that you'll be able to stay for 5 years and get your indefinite leave to remain. PSW does not count towards your indefinite leave to remain. Don't forget. And then the gift of that visa is that it's not starting until next year. So if you are in the UK, try as much as possible on a tier 4 student to make sure that you renew your visa as a student until next year's summertime. You will not get that gift until next year. It's a statement of changes. It has not been put onto the stamp. There's no stamp on it at the moment. So you need to hang in there. If you're having one hand there, try as much as possible. Use that hand to hang on the rope properly until next year, June. Summertime 2020, you will be able to make application to get that opportunity on belt. Is that okay? Student, that is for you. PSW, it is not happening until next year. And before you can get opportunity to get it right, ensure that the university has a good track record. What is track record? Track record is those who are able to fulfill all their humanitarian or human resources department request to the Home Office. If they are not able to fulfill all those necessary things in terms of keeping an eye on students, making sure that students' attendance are accurate, or they have penalty on their clause, you will be whacked with them. You will not be able to get that PSW as a student under them. So make sure when you are coming into United Kingdom, get good advice. Make sure that the university has a track record. Track record is very important. The PSW is not starting until next year, 2020. It's not starting until next year, summer 2020. So put that in mind. And one thing you need to be wary of, it does not lead to indefinite leave to remain. Last time when I said it, before it was cancelled, they don't understand what I meant by it. It's not a good gift. If you are one of those that has planned to stay in the UK, it's not really a good gift because it does not lead to end of the indefinite leave to remain. So if you are going to stay and use PSW, you must have plan B, have alternative of regularizing your status before that PSW runs out. If not, you become an overstayer and the all purpose of your study and work with the PSW will be useless in the UK. There is no income threshold on PSW that you have to meet. There's no problem on that. Anywhere you can work, any places you feel like. So you will work. I'm not taking questions from anybody. Call my office when you have time. Book appointment 0208 309 8808. 0208 309 8808. You can call my office and get appointment later on when it's open at 9:30. And then before I leave you guys, I'm looking at the issues of the European Union citizens. The good news is that if you are already a EU national family member, don't worry. You still have the privilege until 2022 that will clear off your area. 2022, you will be able. Amen. Amen. Amen, ma. You will be able to continue to renew your visa. For those who are coming in as well to join their partner, you will apply under pre-settlement scheme. So don't worry. But this is not a scenario where you will be thinking that you can handle the form yourself. You cannot handle the form yourself. The form is a bit tedious. And those who are on derivative, don't forget that before it was said that you cannot apply for indefinite leave to remain. The good news now is that a phone call to them and put all your information across to them will give us back the feedback whether you'll be entitled. And if you are entitled to have the indefinite leave to remain, they will send the form to my office for you and it will be done without any problem. Expulsions under the CJEU, of the Court of Justice of the European Union returns to the contentious issues on the rights of family member of EU citizens. Now, family members they like to have rights. Of course, you will have this this right in this situation now if you can comply with the EU law, most especially under chain law. Those who are relying on a child on self-sufficient, you will be able to do so even if you are working. There is an EU law that have came out and we call it Bajuratory. Possibly it's an Indian name on that particular situation. Yes, if you are graduating next year June, I think you should be able to get yourself into the system depending on when they put the rubber stamp on. But it's not starting until next year June. So make sure you keep your eyes on things carefully. Yeah. Bless you, that name. Bless you. Bless you, that name. Why wouldn't I love all of you? Your names are very funny. Anyway, don't let me be distracted. Don't let me be distracted. So the point here is that if you have a child that has a European passport and you left Europe with the child to come and stay under that child in the UK, try to see me and get advice. Because you might be getting yourself into a situation whereby you'll be out of control if care is not taken. Can you travel with EU remain stay to France? Is it possible, please, ma? What do you mean by EU remain? So you expect me to just say yes or no and get me into a situation whereby I'll be giving negligent advice at this stage? You have to give a scenario. You have to, expand your matter explained very well to me. So family members of EU nationals in the UK and those who are coming in, the good news is that because of the situation we are at the moment, you can still come in, application can still go ahead, things can still be done. We are still in charge, we are still in control of the situation with the EU settlement scheme or the pre-EU settlement scheme. So the question is, do the dependent parent actually need to be dependent under the EU settlement scheme? Of course, an EU citizen or their spouse or partner, they are entitled to have their dependent parents continue to live with them or join them in the UK under the EU settlement scheme. This has always been the case anyway, and that has not changed. So the scenario is that you have to put all necessary measures in place. What are the measures you have to put in place for you to be able to bring the family member into the United Kingdom? Get good advice. Get good advice. My office is not opening until 9:30, so you can reach me. I will reach my secretary through consultation. Get appointment to my secretary through my secretary, and then they will give you time that I'm available to see me. Then I'll be able to deal with matters that you want me to talk to give you advice on. Don't forget, I practice immigration and nationality law in the United Kingdom, so it's clear to me on the issue of visas coming to UK, the type of visas you will need, leave to remain in the UK, the tiers, everything is clear. But I don't give dirty advice. So that's why a lot of people think that I'm dropping their cases. If you have dirty case and it's not going anywhere, it's going to waste your money. Why should I take it on? I don't want any work that give me a headache. If a case is not going to succeed, I don't have obligation to take it on. My duty is to advise you that go back and make the correct application or correct amendment. And if you are in the UK and it has been messed up with a particular lawyer, take it back to that lawyer to correct it. Because you are going to pay me doesn't mean that I have to have a headache on your matter. I choose carefully, I choose carefully the way I operate my law, how I practice my law, because it's a livelihood for me. It's not a job that I just want to do for 1 year or 2 years. I have been in it for over 18 years, and that's how I'm going to be with it until I retire at the age of 85 or 90 in the legal profession. As long as my brain is still working, I'm going to practice law to the age of 95 years old. And there's nobody that can change that. As long as I'm still breathing, I will practice my law. The children will be practicing theirs, I will be practicing mine. And that's how it is. So, ladies and gentlemen, I love you too, dear. I love you, but I love your name, all the names that you put in there. All of you. God will save you for me. I have to go. My office number is 0208-309-8808. 0208-309-8808. 0208-309-8808. I will not even take mobile phone now because it is not 9:30. So I need to do other things. And I need to talk to some of my girls there that are desperate to talk to me. So let me chat before I start work. It's my Monday morning. I do it the way I like. I'm not going to court today. So that's it. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Until next time I'm back, I remain your humble lawyer Tokunbo Olagbayi, LTO. If you're on my prayer line, don't forget to join me again tonight because it's about firing on with the Spirit of God. It's about firing on all the time in prayer. So don't forget to join me on my prayer line, LTO prayer line, in the evening today. Thank you. I've got to go now, ladies and gentlemen. Can't love you less. Bye for now.